Centre in Brighton on the south coast of England was the venue in February 1991 when Eubank made the first defence of the WBO middleweight title he'd taken so dramatically against Nigel Benn. The opponent was Dan Sherry. Not much was known about the challenger, except that he had an unbeaten record and that he was the champion of Canada.
Introducing and presenting to you the challenger in the red corner with the black shorts, with 17 wins from 17 contests, the former Commonwealth gold medalist and the current Canadian middleweight champion from Ontario, Dan Sherry.
You'll get a glimpse of them in a moment. Dan Sherry, maple leaf boxing trunks, red maple leaves on a black background.
Black shorts with 25 wins from 25 contests, defending the title, the WBO middleweight champion of the world,
And Eubank stalks into the ring, just nods at Sherry. The referee, Frank Santori. From the United States, we've got 2 American judges and 1 from Europe.
Dan Sherry scaled 11 stone 6 pounds. Chris Eubank 11 stone 6 pounds.
Both men bang on the 11 stone 6, 160-pound middleweight championship limit. We're scheduled for 12 rounds. Do you reckon they'll go 12, Barry?
Well, I don't like making predictions because I know nothing about Sherry, but obviously he's not fighting for a world title if he's not a world-class fighter. And you know, let's look forward to an exciting and entertaining fight.
And in contrast to the NEC, when all the fans were shouting for Nigel Benn tonight, Eubank's the star. I've got to say, although both men are exactly the same, Eubank looks a weight division heavier than Dan Sherry.
Yeah, Eubanks is very well muscled around the shoulders, and the lats and the back muscles are all very well defined. But Sherry's a big guy for a middleweight. He's just on 6 feet, and you know, he's well muscled himself. The problem is with
Good right hand from Eubank.
Nice right hand, just glanced off, didn't really stick, but it's a good shot.
And although Sherry's a couple of inches taller, Eubank outreaches him, 73, 70 inches. Oh, Sherry showing a refreshing willingness to take the fight to the champion in this opening round. But he goes down. That was a straight jab.
One of those solid left jabs that we talked about. The referee's having trouble putting him back to the corner. That's very unprofessional, Chris. He should get back there right away. Give the guy a little time to recover.
Caught him off balance more than anything. But a knockdown is a knockdown, mandatory 8 count.
Good solid left jab. He walked straight onto it.
And Eubank, arrogant. And already a little swelling underneath Sherry's left eye. Well, he'll do well to recover from that. That's a terrible blow to your confidence. Eubank, in his eagerness, slips. Sherry hands it up.
Yeah, Sherry's trying to unruffle Eubanks and get him to come forward and throw punches. I know their game plan is probably to try and make Eubanks throw punches and make mistakes and to leave himself open to counter punches. Eubanks has been very cool and started off very well. Good start for him.
Eubank trying to draw Sherry into him. Sherry taunting him. Could be dangerous. Eubank finding a lot of trouble with the grip. That was another slip.
He seemed to having trouble with the loose canvas. His boots are not gripping the canvas the way they should be. Maybe he should have come out beforehand and tried out the canvas, because
he always does that, but he didn't tonight.
Yeah, he's definitely having trouble with his footing. Good start for Eubanks. What Sherry's got to do is he's got to make Eubanks got to draw him.
Eubank not even bothering to go back to his corner, just strolls over. He's got Ronnie Davis and Brendan Ingle in the corner. Got Jimmy Tibbs in the Sherry corner. That's Sherry's record. Oh, can't beat that. 17 fights, 17 wins, including the Canadian Middleweight Championship. In the red jacket there, the back of Jimmy Tibbs, one of the best in the business in this country. Eubank's record, well, he would be #1, wouldn't he? Let's take a look at that knockdown again.
It's a solid jab. He walks forward, Cherry, straight on the button. Just knocks him over with that.
Corner, 10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 2.
Round 2, first round to the champion, Chris Eubank.
It already looks like Sherry is a class below Eubanks. Eubanks has gained a great deal in confidence since his title win, and he's using the right sort of tactics. He's not been drawn into a fight. He's just he's picking his punches, and he's throwing snappy 1-2s from a distance, which is the right thing to do without following forward and being hit with counter punches. Is good tactics, and it's working for him.
Well, this is going to be a tough one for Frank Santori. Eubank so nearly nailed him then. Sherry still grinning at him. Eubank not doing a lot of work this round, apart from avoid those shots, which earn a round of applause. Punches a little bit short, hasn't found the range yet. And I think he certainly is troubled a little bit by his footing.
He's picking his shots very well. Every single one of them are nailing Sherry, and he's not wasting the shot. Not throwing a lot at this stage, but not missing with many. Sherry's on his bike, up and moving.
We've had one knockdown. Dan Sherry, I'm sure, putting everybody watching this on TSN, putting their hearts in their mouths, going down with just no more than a straight left jab in the first round, taking a mandatory count of 8. Third round then. David Brenner, Barry McGuigan with you ringside live at the Brighton Conference Centre. Your first impressions after a couple of rounds, then, Barry, of the challenger?
He looks to me like he's not ready for a world title fight yet. He just looks too novice at this stage. Good fighter, not a bad fighter. Lots of moves, and he's moving well. But he's just a class below Eubanks. Eubanks looks much the superior fighter, and he's hurt Sherry a few times already. So I don't think the fight will go the distance. I think Eubanks will win on the short route. But he's so unpredictable, Eubanks. You never know what he's going to do. He should, in my opinion, be going forward and attacking Sherry and trying to get the fight over and done with. You know, you're not paid for extra time in this game, and he's much superior to Sherry. He should be trying to get the fight over and done with.
Well, Sherry was on the canvas against Darryl Flint in his successful fight to win the Canadian title last year. That was a wrestle. Frank Santori not impressed. Sherry upset about something. Got something in his eye. A cut. Cut left eye, Sherry. Just a graze, but a graze nevertheless. Just a little nick, corner of the left eye. No more than a graze yet.
Eubanks will take his time. He'll only do it when he decides to do it himself. Those body shots are hurting him. They certainly are hurting. That right hand around the side hurting, and that's the sort of thing to do to beat Eubanks. But Eubanks will just take his time. He'll decide when it's time to go forward and finish the job. And it just looks, from what we've seen already, that he can do it whenever he wants.
But he's such a quirky, idiosyncratic fighter as Eubank. He took a few shots there, and then suddenly launched himself back at Sherry. And Eubank, the confidence knowing that Sherry probably can't hurt him.
That's another good right hand. He's really hurt Sherry now. Sherry smiled, but that's a sign of hurt.
And Santori having to pull Sherry off. Well, we did tell you that he wasn't a great stickler for the rules, and we're seeing that now. He's a tough kid, this. They don't breed shrinking violets over in Canada. He's a tough boy.
Watch what Eubanks is doing when Sherry comes at him. He's letting him, he's hurt him now. But he's tucking up and letting Sherry beat him on the arms, and then he's coming back with short, sharp counter punches, and he's hurt Sherry with a similar attack. Very good tactics. He's just tucking up, letting Sherry beat on his arms, and then coming back with short left hooks and right uppercuts and right hands over the top.
Short with that left uppercut. Another good round for Eubank.
Corner, 10 seconds.
Gary Stretch as the challenger, 7 rounds in front, Barry.
That's it. I think I'm going to have to disagree with you, Gary. That's dreadful. I'm glad you're not a judge. He's in the fight, but I still have Eubanks ahead. He's the champion. Remember, he's the one that's coming forward, just like he's been doing all night. And Sherry's been on the bike, in and out, scoring with clusters of punches every now and again. But I agree that he's got to step up a gear, Eubanks. I've said that on several occasions. I hate repeating myself, but he can't afford to, to keep fighting like this. He's could get cut. Sherry might get lucky and nail him with a good shot.
I think the less than brotherly sentiments from Stretch could be due to the fact that he's possibly lined up as Eubank's next opponent, provided Chris successfully comes through this title defence against Dan Sherry. And that fight was Stretch provisionally, and I stress provisionally, scheduled for London on April the 18th. But first of all, he's got to beat Sherry, which is, well, I think he's doing it, with all due respect to Gary Stretch.
I think Eubanks is winning the fight just about, but I think that Sherry obviously is still in the fight, and as I said, he might get lucky. Eubanks has got to work on his footwork. He's certainly not he's not doing enough shuffling forward and cutting the ring down. As I said before, this guy's a class below him. He could stop the fight at any stage, and he's not using enough footwork to cut this guy down, and therefore the guy's still in the fight. Look at the way he's walking after him. He's got to shuffle forward with his hands up, get within punching range and nail the guy.
Not a bad round this for Sherry.
Yeah, although there's only cuffing punches there, they're punches and they're scoring punches for the referee. It means that his arms are moving and his hands are moving. Eubanks has got to start nailing him. And
Sherry taunting Eubanks, sticking his tongue out at him, saying you ain't so hot. I wonder who Ray Leonard manages it out of these two. Well, Eubank not getting drawn into this. The ref should, maybe could, say cut it out. But Sherry's not intimidated. Maybe that's just the sort of stimulus Eubank needs.
The way Sherry feels is if he can do it, I can do it. And Eubanks has got to stop him doing it. He's got to get forward, close down the ring, and hit him with punches. He's got to work on his footwork in the gym. If he gets through this one, because he's not through it yet, in my opinion, he can hurt this guy at any stage. He's just got to make a concerted effort.
There's the bell. Well, a little needle won't do this fight any harm at all.
Yeah, it might stimulate Eubank, because he's got to come forward. I keep saying this, he's got to shuffle forward. He's not doing enough here. This guy's picking away and running around, and although he's still shading the fight. I mean, in my opinion, that was Sherry's round.
Well, what everybody thought would be a stroll for Eubank is turning into a fascinating contest. And the champ lands a beautiful right hand. No showboating this time from the challenger.
Every time Sherry moves away, Eubanks just stays there, you know, stops. Look at this. Look at Eubanks' foot movement. He's just standing in one position, maybe taking 6 inches of a step forward. It's not enough to stop this guy, and you know, he's hurt him on several occasions, and he hasn't stepped up close to him and hit him with more punches. And the guy's just nailing him with little slight counter punches and getting on his bike and keeping out of the way.
Eubank always looks, and it has done for the last 3 or 4 rounds, as though he's on the brink of launching an attack that would end this fight. And yet, you've got to give Dan Sherry every credit in the world for the way that he's drawn the Eubank sting in this contest.
Yeah, he's using the right tactics to win the fight, and Chris is frustrated, and he's not. He should be frustrated with himself because his tactics are not right. He's got to step forward and close down the gaps, or else this guy's going to steal it. He's hurt him again, but let's see, will he keep it up now?
Got Sherry on the ropes right above us.
Oh, we got him.
And he's
badly hurt. Badly hurt.
And Sherry comes out of that bleeding heavily from the mouth.
Look at how shaky his feet. Run out of time again.
Oh, lucky man, Dan Sherry. Referee Frank Santori went over and checked the Sherry corner. He shipped a lot of stick then in the last few seconds of that round, Barry.
Yeah. He hurt him again, but just as before, he ran out of time, and he didn't do enough in the early part of the round to wear him down. Now he's got to take up the momentum. He's got to chase this guy and pour all over him.
There's blood pouring from Sherry's mouth now. He's got a very bad mouth injury. Jaw might have gone. He's in desperate trouble.
Eubanks has got to step up and tell everybody shouting him, put the pressure on him. That's what he's got to do.
Ronnie Davis waving him forward. The Canadian, I beg his pardon, in trouble now. For the first time in this contest, he really looks a sorry sight. Now it's all about bravery.
Eubanks has got to start coming forward and throwing punches. He's got to come forward. He's got to hit the guy.
Well, Sherry, a portrait of courage. He's looking very spent. Desperately backpedaling away from Eubank.
He's hurt him again.
Here comes Eubank again. Santori checks with Sherry. Is he all right?
Eubanks has got to stay on him. Come on now, Chris.
He's almost out on his feet, the Canadian.
Yeah, this fight is not going to last much longer. Oh, hold on a second. Referee.
Sherry goes down like he's been bazookaed. Eubank was naughty. He will get a point deducted. He's calling a timeout. Sherry thought about it and he figured, I'll go down. That really is a bit of the old madam.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is he going to continue now?
Pepe Correa says he's been buttered.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't want to fight on.
Sherry looks as though, oh, come on, man, get up.
There's no need for that.
Well, you get great things at the Oscar ceremonies with this, but really, Sherry ought to be ashamed of himself. Well, if the fight's over, the fight's over. If he can't carry on, then Eubank has won. Simple as that.
No, the fight's not going to continue. And
well, Sherry has now collapsed. This does not look good. I don't think this is put on. I think it's just exhaustion that's doing this to him.
Oh, he's hamming it up, Dave. There's no need. He wasn't like that at the beginning, and he's now putting on a show. But it'll be interesting to see what way the referee rules this.
Now he's getting up, saying he wants to fight on.
Yeah, the referee, I've heard the referee, he's within arm's reach of me. He's going to give a technical decision to whoever was ahead at that stage.
And he's also saying deduct a couple of points off Eubank's scorecard. We could be due for something a little out of the ordinary and something unpleasantly out of the ordinary if this decision does not go Eubank's way.
Well, it's already out of the ordinary, Dave. I've never seen an ending like this before. But, you know, there's no surprises in boxing, and it'll be interesting to see what way the judges score this. In my opinion, Eubanks is just in front. But remember, he lost a point, or maybe even 2 points with this bag-headed butt. That, in my opinion, was nothing consequential. And all of a sudden, we have the end of this world middleweight title fight.
Well, Sherry seems fine now. Eubank must be one desperately worried man. Remember, this is how we saw Lloyd Honeyghan lose a title. Let's get the verdict.
The referee has deducted 2 points off Chris Eubank for... Ladies and gentlemen, please. The referee has deducted 2 points off of Chris Eubank for an intentional headbutt, but it is now going to the decision of the judges, and we're waiting for their cards. Thank you.
Well, remember, Lloyd Honeyghan against Jorge Vaca. That was how Honeyghan lost his title, Barry.
That's right. I'm sitting here with bated breath, and we have 5,500 people in here who aren't very pleased at the moment, and are going to be even less pleased if this decision goes against
Barry
Chris
Hearn in the ring trying to calm things down. I think we've got the result.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Frank Cairo scores the contest 93-95 in favour of Sherry. Judge Torben scores the contest 93-95 in favour of Eubank.
That's what I made it. Split decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judge John Rupert scores the contest.
That's the American judge.
92 points to 95 in favour of Chris Eubank.
Oh, he's kept it. He's got it.
Thank God for that.
Oh, my goodness. He kept his title.
There would have been a riot in here had he lost that game.
I have to say, I think you're right, Barry. He's kept his title, but in what circumstances?
In the most extraordinary of circumstances. A rush of blood to the head, a moment of madness could have cost Chris Eubank his title. He held on for that split decision. For Eubank, this was simply the beginning of a career which would be dogged by controversy, seemingly at every turn. Eubank would make many more title challenges and defences, but this was to be his last fight in his hometown. It was not Eubank's last brush with drama.